If you have XRP or are looking to acquire XRP, this is going to be the most critical video of 2025 that you're going to watch. I want to cover one of the latest posts that goes over some new information for XRP that will be extremely critical to understand. Are we going to push to $10 or more, or could XRP go to zero? That's what we're going to be finding out in today's video. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe. Here I want to be covering an X post. I want Ripple and XRP to succeed at an insane degree such that the entire industry moves forward. But the fact the community does not argue with facts, even through data, is readily available. And as a longtime engineer and truth seeker, this bothers me. It's totally fine to believe things will improve in the future. Maybe everybody will be using XRP instead of digital dollars. Here, what we're going to be looking at with this post is data directly from XRP Scan to show the underlying information as to whether XRP is going to take off during this bull run. Here, we have some great data also post that now ties into the post. So here, active daily accounts shows no 3-year improvement of XRP, hovering around 25,000 daily active accounts. This year, Solana is averaging 2.5 million daily active accounts. So when we're comparing XRP ecosystem to the Solana ecosystem, the number of active accounts, Solana is around 100x greater. But a great piece of information that Brandon does point out here is that the data from XRP Scan is incomplete, and it actually ignores Missouri and June breakdowns. And when we actually account for that, it's closer to 75,000 active daily accounts, because what the post was signifying is back here in July of 2022 compared to here in October of 25, we have the same number of daily active accounts. But Brandon very well points out that we're closer to this line up here, up around this 75,000 daily active accounts, which is clearly an increase from around 3 years ago, and even that major high in early 2025. Then the next graph we have is successful payments. Transaction in fairness has grown about 50%, but the total daily transactions, around 1.5 million per day, is outclassed by Solana, which is handling around 100 million per day. So here we can see that has been quite a strong increase in successful payments, as pointed out with this post. Next, we do see XRP transfer volume today. So we see number of payments from one account to another also massively increased, and here XRP payment volume from one account to another looks around quite steady since 2023, even 2024. So let's have a look. XRP transfer volume today is about $50 to $60 billion per month. However, Solana October stablecoin transfer volume, which is a small subnet of all network assets, was almost 2 trillion. So again, a huge increase when we're comparing the XRP to Solana ecosystem. So clearly what this post is really pointing out is comparing XRP to Solana to say, can XRP reach these high price points given the current underlying ecosystem? Now, I still do believe, but let's cover the rest of this post just to anticipate the replies, which are usually a combination of, oh, it's all fake bots. This can't be substantiated, this data, and the data provided here for Solana excludes wash volume. Given both XRPL and Solana have similarly low transaction fees, there's no reason why Solana would uniquely attract bots. XRPL wouldn't. In conclusion, it's very possible that XRPL wins, but the traction so far has been extremely mediocre given the immense value of the network and the time in the market. If you hold XRP as an investment, you need to seriously consider how much longer it's worth waiting around. Now, I do like this post because it I like to also look, if I have an investment, if I have an idea in the markets, I also like to hear from people on the other side. Clearly, this post is more a Solana ecosystem bull than an XRP bull. But he also does point out some fantastic points, although not perfectly accurate: the active daily accounts, successful payments, transfer volume, and also comparing that to Solana. Could that be showing some underlying weakness for XRP when we compare it to other ecosystems? Now, I do want you to leave a comment and let me know what you believe, what you've taken from this post, and why XRP does have that huge potential above other ecosystems in crypto. Now, I also want to cover a quick price action. One of my favorite ways to actively be trading markets is to begin on the monthly or the largest time frame and actively work down from the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and then to much shorter time frames. Here, what I'm seeing when I look at the largest time frame for XRP is there is a huge bull run ahead. One of my favorite trading patterns to trade is when the overall exponential moving average, the 20 EMA, it has a strong positive slope. But not only that, when we've broken out to completely new all-time highs, I love the retest of the old high resistance. Now, what do I mean? Clearly back in 2017 and even here back in 2021, these highs were very significant in the market. And we just here in 2025 have broken above these large major highs that were set in the market for many, many years. Why is price now perfectly retesting this EMA and also retesting these old highs in price? Because as we've made now a new all-time high, these old resistance all-time highs flip now into a support. We've now got a positive EMA using as support. We have strong confluence on the monthly chart. It's telling me that XRP has a very strong probability to continue to the upside, to continue to a potential $10 per coin. And as we move down into shorter time frames, especially, we can see here on the weekly, there has been a lot of volatility. This couple of weeks ago, basically early in October, we had a wick, more than a 50% wick on XRP. And price is right now trying to climb back above this overall exponential moving average. You'll notice a lot of times that when price does come below these EMAs in a strong bullish trend, price quickly gets eaten up before we then continue above this EMA. So right now could be one of the most perfect supportive zones as we are below the EMA. This doesn't happen very often in a bull run, and especially the long-term chart specifically is definitely showing another wave, another strong push to the upside. And we can continue down to shorter term timeframes because as I move down, I'm using the monthly and the weekly to overall determine the trend, to overall determine some of my price projections into the future. And then I move down onto shorter term timeframes like the daily, like the 4 hourly, to actually look for more shorter term trades or to actually get my entry as perfect as possible. Even here, it makes sense why there was a small rejection in this area, very similar to how I just showed. When a support flips in this area, you can see we had consistent support 3 times. When we get the flip and we get that strong breakout below, what's going to happen is these supports will then flip to a resistance. And as shown here, initially support, once we got this strong breakout below with this red candle, we're now acting as a resistance. When price tried to come back into this price zone, we've got a strong downwards decline. But what I'm now expecting is XRP to come back, retest this price, and the more times we knock on this resistance that initially flipped to a support, the more percentage chance we have to finally get that break. So I am expecting a lot of short-term volatility on XRP, but it's clear where the longer-term charts are giving me that overall signal. And that earlier post from early in the video was a great way to look at both sides and understand the underlying ecosystem for XRP. So leave your comments below. What do you believe is the price point for XRP? Going over that post, do you actually trust what he's saying, or is it just complete hogwash? Leave your comments below, smash the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.